American Humane Law Enforcement or Arson Dog. Brought to you by Canine Courage Program from Zoetis.
The Forest Service is very unique. Our main focus is resource protection and providing visitor and employee safety. So we do a variety of different things across a very diverse spectrum. ICE is a narcotics and patrol canine.
I've known Chris and ICE since about 2009 when I started working with law enforcement and investigations. ICE is just an amazing dog, and Chris has done great being his handler.
We can use ICE to find and locate fugitives. ICE can be used to find a number of narcotics as well, too.
Good boy, ICE dog! So the Forest Service's responsibility in handling illegal narcotics operations on the forest is not only to prevent it, one, to begin with, but also to identify those locations and try to remove them from national forest lands.
At the time the incident occurred with ICE, I was working on the Six Rivers National Forest. So in that operation, we had canine ICE and 2 additional canines.
You know, where we work, it gets to be 100 degrees. Pretty steep, nasty terrain. These dogs are willing to make those hikes, deal with the heat, deal with the exhaustion.
We kind of came over a small rise, and we were completely in the open. The suspects saw us right at the same time we saw them.
Stop, police!
Both of them decided to flee.
I could see that ICE had apprehended a suspect, and the suspect was struggling with him. Chris went to remove ICE and noticed that there was blood coming from ICE's muzzle area.
When we're out in the field, I carry 1 trauma kit for ICE and 1 for me, but he was bleeding through him so quickly that I had to use the trauma dressings from the other team members as well. We were so remote. The only way that ICE had a chance would be if we could fly him to a vet hospital as soon as possible.
There was 3 of us, and we each took turns packing ICE down to the road on our shoulders.
I kept hoping the helicopter could go faster, but I know that those officers were doing the best they could because they know that a dog, even though it's just a dog, it's still another officer.
The assault took place about 40, 50 miles west of here. And the word we got was that the California Highway Patrol was airlifting a dog with a neck wound, and they would be here in 20 minutes.
It was a little stressful. We were all pretty nervous because we didn't know what to expect with his wound. ICE
sustained a very deep wound to the neck.
It really puts into perspective just how dangerous the job is, the threat that we face. If ICE hadn't been there that day, you know, that could have been one of us getting stabbed.
If Chris had waited much longer, or they didn't have a good helicopter system to get him, because they are out in the middle of nowhere, I think ICE would probably be gone.
When I first got back to ICE when he was pulled out of surgery, he was still somewhat sedated, but when the doctor came in and let us know, you know, he had gotten through surgery, I knew that was going to be a big step in moving forward. When ICE came back to work, he definitely kind of started to perk up again. I think it was really beneficial in ICE's recovery because he knew he still had a job to do.
I don't know if another dog would have come back from such a violent attack like that. ICE is probably the best canine the Forest Service has in the nation, and he had earned that status prior to that violent attack.
Good dog.
For this incident, our Director of Law Enforcement presented him with the award for valor, and I think it's probably the first time our agency has given such an award to a dog, and so it's good for the Director to give that to him for a job well done.